So you can just choose to wake up when the alarm rings the first time.
That's crazy. Yeah, you can just choose to. I can't just choose to. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome back to the Tech Room. Today, with me, I have a very, very special guest, somebody that we have looked for up and down, but we finally found him. Let me not say too much. Let me allow him to introduce himself. How are you?
I'm okay.
All right. Welcome to the Tech Room. Tell us who you are, what you build, and who you build it for.
Okay, my name is Kipratich Kimutai. I am a software engineer. I build a lot of stuff from sales systems to payment systems. Yeah.
A lot of stuff, a variety. So, sales systems, other types of systems that you work with, these sound like a wide variety of industries. And then also the little bit of research that I did into you, it seems like you have a finger in every pie. So it's seeming like you've worked in fintech, healthcare, sales. Is there a common thread for the specific type of problem you find yourself drawn to? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that a software engineer's whole job, or a major part of their job, is finding a problem and finding the solution for said problem.
Yeah.
So what common thread among all of these industries is there?
I think I mostly found myself there because of people who wanted things to be built, or they were facing particular challenges that they wanted solutions for. So they're all different in different aspects because, for example, in sales, the people in sales experience different challenges, but the common ground is you're using the same technology to solve these problems.
To solve the problems.
Yeah.
Would it be safe to say that the way the technology solves these problems is by eliminating some level of inefficiency or manual labor?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly how I feel. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. That actually gives us a brilliant transition into what we're going to be covering today. And it is executives globally are facing the same problem. They're facing a very specific resource shortage. And the resource in question is time. So today I wanted us to go into detail a little bit about what AI should already be doing for executives. That sound like something that hold some value, hold some water.
Yeah, that's an interesting question because definitely AI has changed our lives. We are more productive right now, especially as software engineers, as people working in various fields. You can easily get solutions for particular problems by just asking a question on AI. But also, I'd say from an executive perspective, AI has made it simple to manage people. So, for example, if you're leading an engineering team, you can easily have automations to review pull requests and also to ensure that your systems are always running. So it's definitely, it has made a big impact in our day-to-day lives.
That's brilliant. Thanks so much. That's just a little teaser. Now let's actually get into the meat of this whole discussion. And the way I'm going to structure this is probably we're going to have a couple of practical examples of practical situations. And then not only as an executive, but as an expert in these types of systems, I would like to hear your opportunity. Sounds good?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So right now, when you look at how most executives and their teams spend their week, which is the biggest time sink right now that AI could eliminate?
I'd say probably breaking down tasks into simple problems that someone can easily work on. For example, if you have a problem where you need to build a system that can keep track of employee attendance, for example. So you would not need to go through the manual paperwork and stuff. You just need to do a simple analytics and see, okay, the who came in earlier, who came in later, like who needs to improve and stuff. So from managing people perspective, it has made work easier. But the biggest challenge, I'll speak maybe from an engineering perspective,
Please.
is mostly breaking down tasks, especially when you get requirements from a client or from a customer. Then now you'd need to sit down and think about how to solve it, how we break it down into steps. But now currently with AI, you can just maybe give AI the problem, then see the possible solutions and the best way to go into it. And it will also reduce the time you'd spend to rebuild a whole feature because it wasn't well done. And also it will reduce errors.
Thank you. That's a very comprehensive answer. Maybe if I could get like a ballpark estimate when it comes to this, not necessarily problem, but necessary yet tedious process of delegation. That's breaking down the tasks, telling people do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
How many hours would you say that might cost the average team or executive
Without AI,
without AI? Yes,
I'd say they would be 5 times slower.
5 times.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So quite a significant improvement might be made.
Yeah.
So you've already told us what the after would look like.
Yeah.
More optimized systems. You mentioned have automating certain pull requests, etc., etc.
I can give you an example.
Please.
Like when I was in Spain, I had booked for BNB. So the BNB had every single thing automated. So I didn't need someone to be able to go inside. So I'd open the door using, they give me a link to an app. So using the app, you would open the main door. Then after you open the main door, you'd also open your own door, and you only have access to your own door. And they also had a chatbot where you can ask questions if you want. For example, I needed to know whether I can drink the tap water. Then I just sent a message to the chatbot.
And give you an answer.
Yeah.
Guys, keep listening to Tech Room Podcast, and you too will go to Spain and open doors with apps. Right, that was a brilliant example. Thank you so much. So, one of the solutions that you mentioned you found for in all of the industries that you've worked in, specifically the sales industry, is sales prospecting. And I know you've built a couple of solutions for them. I have sort of a two-part question here. The first part being, how much time does a typical team use to manual lead generation? And what would the AI handled version actually look like on a day-to-day basis?
So if you're doing it manually, you have particular prospects or job titles that you want to reach out. So the normal flow for someone who's just doing it without any systems, they would maybe go to LinkedIn, look for those job titles, go to individual profiles, send connections manually. Then you have now to go back and keep checking whether they have been able to connect. And if you're not connected, you'd have to check every single day. So if you're using a system, for example, at Nexuscale, we have a lead database of over 200 million leads. So you just go get job titles. With those job titles, select the number of contacts you want, add them to an agent. So an agent will basically do the rest. It will go and research about the lead. So get some information about the lead, then generate emails or LinkedIn DMs for the lead. Then after that, you'll just schedule the sending and also sending of follow-ups, and also consolidate all the replies within one platform. So you basically do not need to go into individual email accounts so that you can be able to see whether they have responded.
That's actually a massive time saver. I remember when I was looking for internships and opportunities. Hey, bro, you have like 50 tabs open, all of them for LinkedIn. So yeah, what you're mentioning is, I feel like not only what people at a high level could use, but also at a very low level. If I can ask a follow-up question, all this time that these people have saved, now they don't need to go to LinkedIn, they don't need to look for emails, they don't need to check for connections. They've left all of this up to the automated system. All this free time that they have, what can they do with it now?
They can use it to be more productive.
Be more productive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe you would not be burnt out since you're working less, so you're definitely more productive. Yeah.
So on top of saving you time, on top of getting you more qualified leads, on top of accomplishing certain outcomes on a scale that couldn't be accomplished purely through manual work.
Yeah.
It's also good for just general mental well-being.
Yeah.
Even me, I might have to
And
put
also
aside
getting
to
more
this.
money.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah, 'cause-
that's the most important part, huh?
yeah.
For some people. Okay, no, that's brilliant. All right. What about communication? The AI has already sent out the leads, the emails, it's sent the LinkedIn DMs, or it's scheduled them for you. What about the follow-ups, the calls, the customer queries? How does AI fit into that specific pipeline without the business losing that human touch?
Okay, that's normally the tricky bit about AI, because normally if you are experiencing a very big problem, for example, you want to reschedule a flight, then you're now talking with an AI agent, and it's basically not giving you answers. Because for me, I normally just go to the chatbot and tell it I want to speak to an agent, honestly, because it should be easier. But I feel if the chatbots are improved so that we can handle the customer queries better, you would not need to contact a particular customer support person to get help.
Okay.
Yeah, and also for something like calls, I can remember there have been very many complaints on Safaricom because they decided to fully make it AI.
Yeah,
So,
good about.
but I don't think the problem is the AI.
Oh,
The
what would you say the
problem
problem
is,
is?
like, I don't think that AI is really good for this particular use case.
So it's the way it was executed.
Yeah, it's the execution.
Okay, so how is somebody supposed to properly evaluate whether or not an AI is good for a use case which is typically human centered? Because Safaricom, a company that makes X amounts of revenue, and they're still liable to falling into the trap of misusing this AI, misusing, for lack of a better term, according
Yeah.
to you. Then how is the typical MD or let's say a medium-sized company supposed to know this is where I can use AI in a human-facing role, and this is where I should just leave the job to a person?
I think you can never get it right the first time, but you have to use an iterative approach where you take it to the customers, then you gather feedback. So you get feedback from customers, whatever they're experiencing, which challenges are is the AI failing on particularly. So from that you'll be able to make improvements on your model, and with time it will be better to handle those customer support queries better.
Spoken like a true software engineer, you said iterative. I started getting flashbacks. Oh, waterfall. Oh, I was a little scared. Okay, no, thank you. That's a really good answer. People these days are always worried and concerned about is AI going to take my job? Is AI going to replace me? Which actually leads me to our next segment, which is what AI can and cannot do for you. And the first thing I've said is the first thing I would say is what are people trying to use AI for today where it consistently fails, like it just cannot do?
The first question was if AI can replace someone. I don't really think so, because AI cannot it can get creative, but it cannot see the problems, because we are humans. You're able to see there's a particular problem somewhere. So using that problem, you can now use AI to solve that problem more efficiently. So I don't really think AI can replace human. Maybe reduce somehow, because the workload would not be as much, but it would not replace.
So for first off, thank you. That was very brutally honest. I feel like our listeners valued that. You didn't hide anything. I really appreciate that. You could have said, AI does everything and anything, but you chose the right one. Something. So for an executive that has listened and that has heard us speaking about AI, somebody's probably like really curious. So for that specific exec, what is a realistic, let's say 30-day experiment that they could run to see what AI or how AI could affect their workflow without a massive budget or a whole tech team?
I think what they would need to do is go into individual departments and see and get the current problems that they're experiencing. Then, based on those problems, they can even use AI actually
to find those
yeah,
problems.
to see what
Okay.
to see the kind of solutions they can build around those problems. Like some would require systems, some would just require training people to use certain things better. Yeah.
Right.
But
So for those execs, what are the first thing they should do is they can use AI to run.
no, identify tools that their teams can use to make them more productive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can identify these tools
Yeah.
via
If they do research or through AI, basically.
Well, thank you so much. At least now,
Because there are very many tools out there that can do different stuff for you.
if they wanted to conduct, let's say, an internal audit of their company to, as you said, find problem areas or problem gaps, is there a specific tool that you'd recommend? Or if not a tool necessarily, then sort of a blueprint?
I don't know if I can recommend a particular tool because people normally use different tools. For example, for a software engineer, some people prefer using Cloud Code, some people prefer using Casa, some people prefer using OpenAI. So it's normally what works for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we were to give a high level overview, let me pose something to you and then you tell me whether it's valid or not. I feel like a tool that most people are familiar with or should be familiar with is Google Forms.
Yeah.
Would it be feasible to send out a questionnaire or to automate something to send out a questionnaire to the various members of the departments that you're trying to audit after the questionnaire is sent out and the responses have been received, to use AI to synthesize that data so that it can point out like commonalities, like this amount of people are complaining about this problem or this amount of people have seen this gap. So you should probably give it a little bit more traction. And then after the AI has processed that, it gives the data back to that executive to make the decision. Is that a reasonable or is it a plausible thing to do? Or are there limitations to that approach?
Yeah, I think actually, if you had asked that question before, if I was to go into an organization and I'd have to gather feedback from people, so they can probably use Google Forms or any other tool. Once you get that data, you can use AI to process that data to know what are the main challenges. And from that, you can see which challenges can be solved using AI, which challenges still need manual intervention from people.
So would it be fair then to also say that AI should be less of an assistant and more of an advisor?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a question for you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Surprising. Yeah, my first question, guys, please.
Do you think you would let AI cook for you?
A meal?
Yeah, a meal.
Absolutely not.
Why?
I I like cooking,
Yeah.
ladies. I like cooking. I sincerely enjoy cooking, but also I feel like there is a certain level of emotion involved that has to be involved when you're creating something.
Yeah.
Whether it's a piece of art, whether it's a song, whether it's a meal, I feel like you have to put a little bit of your heart and your soul in there, and AI doesn't really have a heart and a soul.
Okay, interesting.
But
you would use AI to get recipes and stuff.
Oh, absolutely, 1,000%. Yeah. I'd also let AI clean. I hate doing the dishes. That's my least favorite thing. Would you let AI cook for you?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I don't think it would cook the food to my liking, like the way it is right now.
True. But couldn't the same be said of if you hired like a personal chef or something? The first time they cook for you, they're probably not going to make the food exactly the way you like it.
Yeah.
But I believe earlier you'd said something about how it needs to be iterative. They give you a result, you give your feedback on the result, they give you another result until it's perfect.
Maybe if it's made by someone who you share the same experiences. Like, for example, a Kenyan. The biggest challenge with most of the AI models, actually, we're discussing this with someone, like, they are mostly trained on foreign data. Yes. So it's very difficult to personalize it to your own use cases.
We were actually having a discussion on an earlier episode. Go check it out with Zacchaeus Amenya, where we were talking about how people, especially in Africa, have a propensity, they like to import Western solutions for African problems. So I really resonate with what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but there has been a lot of there's a lot of innovation in that, because I have seen someone who created, I saw it online, they created a Kikoyu large language model, which would basically, it can talk Kikoyu basically, or maybe translate from English to Kikoyu.
English to Kikuyu.
Yeah, which was quite interesting.
You know, I've been looking for excuses to not learn. No, it's looking like I'm out of it. I'll check that out actually. A Kikuyu LLM.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Now see, if I was going to choose any AI to cook for me and was feeling like a lot of soup, then that's the AI that I would probably ask. No shade, guys. Anyway, as people are adopting AI for various use cases, cooking notwithstanding, what do you think the biggest mistake most businesses make when adopting AI?
Probably, okay, there are particular use cases where you would need to be very careful when working with AI. For example, in if it's payments, if you're building a payment system, for example, like you would not just let AI make all the decisions by itself. You'd need to make sure every single change that is made is actually correct, and it won't have any other side effects. So I feel you have to find a balance between how you use AI and what are the limits, like to what extent will it be over reliant, so to what extent might it cause other side effects. Yeah.
Thank you. Right.
I normally tell people that you can use AI as much as possible, but never lose control.
Never lose control. Always say them. It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool.
It's not a partner.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as we head to a session where we try and wrap things up a little bit, what is just one tool or habit, since you've said, a tool is for an individual, different people, different use cases, but what is one habit, something a busy executive could adopt this week that would genuinely give them the time back?
Maybe planning. Okay, I normally think maybe might have a tool. Like most of our days are normally really similar. Yeah, especially if you're doing particular work. So I feel you can use some tool for planning. There are some emails that you can have an AI agent that can just go through your emails, then let you know the important emails that you need to look at that point, and maybe categorize the rest as not important, which you can look at later, and that will give you more time to focus on most important stuff.
Okay, fair. Planning. I like that answer. Personally, I won't say horrible. I'm working on it, but I'm not the best planner, so I might have to take that into my notes as well. Right. Okay. So those are all the questions that I have for you today. Unless maybe you have another one for me. I quite like the last one. No pressure. If you don't, that's totally fine. We still have another section that we're getting into.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's move to everybody's favorite section. It's one of my favorite sections as well. The game style, hosted by the incomparable, the magnificent.
After I'll say many.
You're not gonna give me an easy game.
If you're going to fail, you're going to fail.
Breaking doesn't work.
Today, our everyday loser has a chance to not lose.
Who?
You.
Hey, okay. You see how they speak to me in this office?
So this one is not going to be a competition.
Oh.
Because we compete a lot.
Because we know the loser.
They're being bullied in the office.
Hostile work environment.
Hostile work environment. So, my boss is toxic. Anyway, so we're going to do two things.
Yeah.
First one, I'm going to give you statements, and then you're going to tell me if it's a green flag or a red flag.
Okay.
It's not relationship related.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's life related, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know about relationships fine, so that works for me. Yeah.
So it's just going to be a few. Someone who eats fries with a fork.
Red
Green flag.
Green. Red.
I did say red.
Explain your answer.
He normally eats with his hands.
If you don't trust your hands, why should I trust you? That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, Kintai, why would you trust someone who eats fries with a fork?
It's just good behavior. Like it's not messy and stuff. Yeah.
Someone who sets 10 alarms every morning.
Green flag.
Red flag.
Explain your answer.
Because why would you set 10 alarms? Like you normally wake up and snooze each one of them, so like there's no point.
You're making a lot of assumptions. I want to show you something. Personally, I said green flag because I have a good amount of alarms for the morning. I like to keep myself to a tight schedule, and I don't be what remote is. So like when my alarm rings, I know it's time to move on to the next task.
No. We're discussing someone who, for them to wake up at say 6:30, the alarm starts to ring at 5:30.
Okay.
Like I think it's just a habit in my opinion, because like for me, I normally wake up. It's just that you choose to snooze the alarm or something. So you can just choose to wake up when the alarm rings the first
It's
time.
not that easy.
That's crazy. Yeah, you can just choose to. I can't just choose to.
So you don't have self-control.
Wow.
No, you.
No, she's saying as the people that snooze don't have it.
Okay, but you can set one alarm and snooze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone who sends emails after midnight.
Red flag.
You're
one of those people.
No, like it's not a problem for real.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You're one of those people.
Because that's their most convenient time. There are actually people who normally write that. Like if you feel it's not convenient for you, you can reply to your most convenient time.
No.
It's toxic.
No, it's not toxic.
Using AI to write reports.
What type of reports?
Any reports.
Green flag.
If it's an analytical report, green flag.
Okay.
Because you don't need a human to do that.
Yeah.
So, one last thing. What would your former boss say about you?
I don't know, but but I normally work with him and we talk at times. So I think, yeah, he normally looks at me like his small child, and I don't know what he would say. He would probably say that I'm his son, maybe.
Eddie?
My former boss, shout out Elizabeth, would say only good things. Yeah. I know.
Okay.
I'll find her. I'll ask her after this. Alright. So. Thank you so much for showing up to the Tech Room podcast. Thoroughly enjoyed our conversations and your recommendations. I'm going to go look into that. If my emails or my messages start sounding a little bit robotic, it's still me.
You're still learning.
Yeah. No. It's me. It's definitely not an AI agent. Anyway, guys, that has been another episode of the Tech Room podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something. I know I learned a lot. I'm going to be saving a lot of time moving forward. Time that I will use to check out the Tech Room podcast on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Basically, anywhere that you consume content, we're there. Even LinkedIn. Go check us out. Have a lovely day, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Yay.